Oh yeah, no worries. Cool. Well, good luck, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm so
you.
excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. All right. Yeah, and then that little number at the bottom too will tell us as people pop in. So we got a couple people joining us.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah,
Oh,
welcome. Some of our numbers kicking up here. We'll just wait another few seconds here as people hop from the last session. We're excited to talk about Luminate Online. Thank you for joining us. Got some great experts here in the house to talk us through some cool registration layouts and other great things using the event module. So we're really thrilled for that. We'll just wait a couple more seconds to see our numbers still ticking up a little bit. And we won't delay. We'll get right into it. Very exciting.
all right.
All right, let's do it. Well, I'm so thrilled and excited to be here with you all. I'm Lauren. I'm a solutions consultant here at Blackbaud, but more importantly, we have Darcy Hofmann and Sarah Lesh here, which are two of our Luminate Online experts that are going to be talking us through some registration layouts and the event module and how you can create really wonderful and beautiful events to, improve your donor experience and boost your ticket sales. So, without further ado, I will kick it over to them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, well, I'll start with introducing ourselves. So I'm Darcy Hofmann. I'm the Senior Technology Solutions Lead at Doing Good Digital. I started working at Doing Good after about a decade working at nonprofits right where I'm from in the Boston area. Doing Good Digital is a digital first agency specializing in helping you maximize the use of your fundraising tools like Luminate Online. We have a team of experts that we work with that specialize in fully customizing these tools and taking digital fundraising to the next level. And I will let Sarah introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. So excited for you to join us today. I'm Sarah Lesh. I'm the Director of Web Development and Tech Solutions here at Doing Good Digital as well. I've been working in digital fundraising for about 11 years, mostly in the web development side. So kind of customizing different aspects of digital fundraising from kind of a web development perspective. And I live in Toronto, Canada, and I'm really excited about all the different things we'll be showing you today. Our team at Doing Good Digital worked hard in building out all these different and exciting customizations. So super excited to show you guys some of the cool things we did here. I think they're all pretty original and outside the box of what you might think is possible within Luminate Online events. So let's dive into them.
All right, we'll look at our agenda. So we'll look at layout and page elements, sponsorship updates, and guest ticketing. So all of the different case studies that we're going to show you, we'll talk about what our clients were looking to solve and the different ways that we updated the events module to fit those needs. So first we'll look at layout and page elements. So looking at what was available to us for as the Luminate Online module and then seeing how we could customize those. So the first example is from Advocate Healthcare. So we're looking at the different page elements available. We updated the page wrapper and included a banner at the top. And what they were looking for was how to get that registration information right in front of the user. So we moved that registration information up to the top and added ticket headings here. And then Sarah, yeah, one thing we added here, if you add one of those tickets, it will add the number of guests that go to each of those tickets. So it adds that number of guests. But really here, looking at the different elements that were on the page and customizing that for this organization. The next example we have is layout and page elements for NYU Langone. And they really wanted this to look very high-end. It was a high-end event, and they wanted it to feel very customized and match all of their other branding. So we improved the aesthetics of the page and included the make it easy for users to pick their ticket options. We wanted to they wanted to be able to use this for other events, so this is a templated page that they can use again and again for their other events, including editable background image, intro text, color schemes, and really improve the usability for their alumni reunion.
Awesome. So let's moving on to some edits we've made to events for sponsorships. So I'm just making sure you're seeing the right thing. Yep. Okay. So a lot of our clients came to us with a few different issues they were seeing related to sponsorships. So when selling tickets, when selling sponsorships, there was often confusion between what is a ticket, what is a sponsorship, what comes with the tickets. So all that wasn't kind of easily built into the event module for Luminate Online. So we wanted to make sure we highlighted the difference between tickets, the difference between sponsorships, what's included. So sponsorship often includes a whole lot. So sometimes it includes the amount of guests that come. Sometimes it includes signage. Sometimes it includes a feature in a newsletter or on a website. So we wanted to make sure that all of that was featured somewhere. Of course, often sponsorship includes guests and those guest names. So we wanted to add that. As well as sometimes sponsorship prices are just really expensive. So how do we handle that? So we're going to walk through a couple of examples of ways we've solved for these issues for our different clients. So let's take a look at them. So starting with Advocate Healthcare, let's look at the site we built there again. So let's share this. So here is the event we built for them. So one of the things that we edited for these guys, as Darcy mentioned, is adding these headers before each of the sections. So all the sponsorships are under this heading of sponsorship. All of these unique sponsorship opportunities are under here. So those are their VIP levels. And then they have their tickets. So just these headings really helps visualize the different things available. And then for this event, we added a bit more of a description of what's included in each event here. So we included that this includes 10 guests. This VIP one, it's a VIP with the exclusive opportunity and it has 50 guests. So this is just added right to the name, but it really helps highlight that information there. And then, as Darcy mentioned earlier, if I did include a quantity here, so if I added this platinum sponsor to my cart, then you'll see, because this includes 10 guests, I can then include all my guest names below here with that sponsorship there. Okay, let's look at another example. So Rady Children's. So Rady Children's actually uses, before people actually get to their event ticketing page, they have a WordPress website that has a lot of information about the event. It's more of a landing page for the event that highlights both tickets and sponsors. And they have two big call to actions on that page. They have one big button that says tickets and one big button that says sponsorships. So they wanted anyone who clicked on tickets to be brought to more ticketed information, and anyone who clicked on sponsorships to be brought to more sponsorship related information for their ticketing. So we kind of solved this problem by just doing a slight edit in the order of things showing up. So if I were to click on the link for tickets, so that's this up here, then I would be brought to a ticketing page that looked like this. And I see I have tickets at the top and then sponsorships at the bottom. Then if I were to click on the button that said sponsorships, I would click this here. And let me share that event. So it's the exact same looking ticketed event, but if I scroll down, I see that we have sponsorships at the top here, so that the sponsorships are highlighted above the ticketing. And basically this was done by adding a parameter to the URL. So we added this type equals, well, it looks like sponsor spelled a little funny there, but type equals sponsor to the URL here that then did that kind of customizing of where things appeared on the page. We also added some sponsorship information that appeared on hover of the event. So if you clicked on each of the sponsorship event information here, you'd see what is actually included in the sponsorships. And we kind of cleaned up what's actually showing in the table so that only relevant information is showing. So we're just seeing price, information, quantity, and total. There isn't any of those like limited or amounts that for our needs here weren't useful. Okay, moving on to NYU LH's sponsorship. So NYU LH, these guys had really kind of expensive sponsorships. So there's a few things we wanted to do here. So people could only purchase one sponsorship at a time. So we created these checkboxes. Let's go kind of take a look at what those look like. So looking at the event here, if we scroll down, you'll see we have these checkboxes. So for anything with sponsorship in the name, you'll see I can only select one sponsorship at a time because people were only able to sponsor one event at a time. You'll also see again that sponsorship information here that displays on hover. So what's included with each sponsorship shows up here. For example, 10 tickets, whatever else is included. And then a really fun customized thing we built into this event is we built these RSVP and Pay Now or RSVP and Pay Later buttons at the bottom. So rather than having people purchase both of their tickets no matter what, we wanted to give people the option to just RSVP for the event, and then our admins could then follow up with them later. This is because the event tickets were quite expensive, so we kind of didn't want to expect that people could. So here you see that it's only $1. This is our testing link. The actual price of these sponsorships are appearing down here. So this level is $25,000. If you went all the way up to the more expensive, the Violet Circle sponsorship, that was $375,000. So I don't know about you, but I don't have that type of credit card limit. So we had to do a testing link that only had $1 tickets. And then we kind of were playing around with that before we took the actual real values live. But anyway, with tickets like $375,000 of value, we wanted to make sure that people had a pay later option so that if they were interested in sponsoring an event at this price, we could just know that and then follow up with them later. Finally, the reason we wanted to include this is actually this level, this $375,000 level sponsorship is higher than the credit card limit in Luminate Online. So that credit card limit is $200,000. So for people who were looking to sponsor here, if we scroll down, the only option they get is RSVP and pay later. So they would RSVP for this event and we would follow up with them. And if you're interested in how I built this RSVP and Pay Now and RSVP and Pay Later, our team kind of worked really hard on this customization. It's all built into one event. So both these options are in one event to make it easier for admin to follow up with what's going on here. I'm deep diving into the back end and the code that went along with adding these two buttons here to make this work in a session tomorrow. That is called RSVP and Pay Now versus RSVP and Pay Later. So please join that one. Would love to deep dive with you on how we built that together. Okay, let's move along to guest ticketing.
Yeah, so guest ticketing on the calendar events that we were building for our clients, we were hearing that we were getting information for the primary registrant, but we weren't getting all of the needed information for any guests that they wanted to include. So we can go into the first example that we have here, and that is on Rochester Institute of Technology, and we built templates for them for multi-part event, multi-day event, and standard events. So this is the multi-part event. What you can see here at the top is a checkbox system, so you can check your ticket type. If there were multiple ticket types, you could choose between those options there. And then for the primary registrant, you can pick which events within that event you would want to attend. So you only wanted to attend 2, you could pick 2. If you wanted to attend all of them, you could pick all of them. And then when you add a guest, thanks Sarah for filling that out. Okay. When you add a guest, so this is added on, so you can select between the primary registrant or the guest one, and then when you add additional guests, you can scroll between those two. So you could click between those two options, or you can exit out on the side there. Yeah, exactly. And on the guest registration as well, you have the option to pick their events. So if they were attending just one event or all events, it doesn't have to be the same as for the primary registrant. It can be different. So those are some of the updates on that. The questions that we asked for, like the primary registrant and the guests, included some conditional content. So for example, if you click alumni, it includes conditional content there, some questions for your program, your major, or your class year. And then Sarah, do you mind going to the standard event page and we can look at the differences there?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, thank you. All right, and on this standard event page, we included different ticket types. So if you wanted to attend one variety of the event, you could select that option, and then when you add a guest, they can choose at their own ticket types. So that was custom there. And then it looks like we have some information filled in. What we added were some session variables. So we are hearing that it was a common pain point that the user would fill out the information on step 1 on this page and then go to the next page to complete their transaction and decide that they wanted to go back. So once they went to the next page, we would get this summary page, but they would want to go back and they were losing that information. So added session variables to keep that information here on the page. So to avoid any errors and avoid having to fill out all of that information, you added all that information about yourself and your guests, and then to lose it was a big pain point for them. So that solved that issue for them, for RIT. That's all I have for them.
Nice. Cool. And looking at some of the guest ticketing that we did for NYU LH's events, let's take a look at those events. So here we have their Violet Ball event. Let me just hard refresh here. We're looking at a funny version, so we have too many links open. There we go. Okay, so we added on this individual ticket, rather than having just an open-ended quantity, we added this scroller. So you could just scroll up and down. In the session I'm doing tomorrow, we'll be looking at how to add this in as well, so heads up. So that is kind of a nice add-on to the individual tickets here. And then we also, for the additional guest information, we added this question. So as we saw with, for example, sponsorships, if you were adding guests, maybe your sponsorship had 10 guests. Sometimes people did know the guests they wanted to have come and knew all the information about them. So if so, they would click this option. I have my partial or complete guest information and will provide it now. So then you have that and you can add your guest information, their dietary restrictions, everything you need to know. And note that because I have myself and 2 individual tickets here, I get to sign up for myself and then I get 2 guests that show up here. So it's changing the amount of guests based on how many I have here, which is kind of cool. But maybe I do not have my guest information. I just know I'm going to bring 2 guests, but I don't know who they are yet. I'll provide it later. I can select that and then continue moving ahead with my registration. So we built out those 2 options there. For another NYU event, for their alumni event, we did things a little differently for their guest ticketing. So let's take a look at that. So we, if we scroll down to that event, for each registrant, so both the primary and the guests, we put the information for each ticket in these tables. So this is sort of similar to the Rochester University event that Darcy was talking about earlier, but the information is shared a bit differently, where we have it kind of across this table. And you'll note that some of these are weekend event only or weekend event and alumni ball. So anything that had weekend events in it, if I check that, so this weekend event here, if I check that, you'll see then I can select the weekend activities that I want to take part of. If I don't have weekend events selected, that goes away. So we can kind of choose the different weekend events that we want to come to for the alumni event there. And then again, in each guest, we have these dietary restrictions that are per guest. So per primary registrant, and if I had another guest here, I could add the dietary restrictions for that guest as well. Cool. So that is most of the customizations that we wanted to share today. We are pretty excited about all of them. I think like if you use the event module in Luminate Online, this kind of really took it to the next level. I think anytime we've shared these with people who are interested in doing further things in the event module, people are pretty like shocked that this is built in that same module. So there's a lot you can do if you kind of customize it out. But I would love to know if you guys have any questions. So feel free to ask any questions in the Q&A or the chat. Oh, it looks like there are some questions there.
I think there's one question, Sarah, I think that would be good for you to answer. I think you'll know it. Another question, how reusable are these configurations? Can Advocate Healthcare's event registration forms from DGD be easily replicated for additional events, and what does that process look like?
Yeah, so we have built these as templates. So they are definitely reusable. That is definitely like if you are looking to customize your events, that's like probably a piece of information you should tell us at the beginning, that please don't just do this for one event, make it a template. But once we know that, there'll just be like certain training aspects that we would have to train you on to do. So like, hey, update this in the description area. You make sure you want to add this for whatever the sponsorship title is or something like that. But we can definitely make it a template and then train your team on how to use that template. And then I see someone asked, are these new templates that are available to us, and can we customize our events? Or do we have to pay for these? So I'll just note that these are edits that Doing Good Digital made to the Blackbaud event module. So they're kind of layered on top of the Blackbaud events. So yeah, so kind of that's what we do at Doing Good Digital, is customize your Luminate Online instance a little bit further to make it look even splashier than you would get out of the box from Luminate Online. So if you are interested in making your events look even better, please email us. We'd be happy to do that.
Wonderful. That was terrific. I know we just have another minute or two left, so would love if everyone could fill out that survey here. This was a really terrific session, lots of great examples and good learning. So would love to collect all that good feedback in that survey. But thank you again, everyone, for joining and being here. Sarah and Darcy, I don't know if you had any other final thoughts, but terrific, and thank you so much.
I think, yeah, thank you so much for your great questions and for joining us. If you have a event that you're like, I would love some ideas on how to make this look better, or yeah, what can you guys do? We would love if you could send your events to us, your Luminate Online events to us. Feel free to email them to us, and we can kind of give you some ideas of what we would do to customize it further. So feel free to do that. Otherwise, thanks so much for joining us, and maybe join tomorrow. Join my session tomorrow if you want to learn how to.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You can stick around for another minute or so if anyone has any other final questions, anything else. We'll be here.